This is Marc from the ATV Guys, and I got a Canadian premiere for you. We just got off embargo about it. This is the 2023 Z-Force 950 from CFMOTO Canada. Why am I all excited? Well, I kind of like the Z950. I always like that unit. You know, it's got quirky looks and all this stuff. You know, it's a signature look that belongs to CFMOTO, and I always enjoyed that machine. But it has some shortcomings, especially on suspension, engine power, all this stuff. And I'm proud to say that everything was addressed. Now, this one is in a particular segment that it shares with the Can-Am Maverick Sport and the Polaris RZR 1000 S series. I call them sport tourings. Over here in Quebec in Eastern Canada, we have a lot of federated trail systems. We can do a lot of kilometers. We can eat trails all day long. And you know, it's important to have a machine that's comfortable. And if you don't have the budget, or you don't really need the Corvette like the Can-Am X3 or the XP Pro series from Polaris, you know, all those super sports. Well, if you like touring, what do you get? Well, you get the RZR 1000S, you get the Maverick Sport, or you get this. But now this one, its main feature, the main upgrade that's been done to it is 64 inches wide. So if you get down here, all the suspension components have been revised on this unit, and it's sitting on some really beefy rubber. It's on 29-inch. Come on down, Carl. It's on 29-inch CST Stag radials, and it's got beadlock wheels. Very, very important, and nice and beefy setup. So you won't bust a bead in trails, in mud, especially here in Eastern, well, in Quebec here, we got deep ruts in the trails, summer and winter. And having a beadlock wheel just gives that added sense of security that you won't end up with a pop bead and having to walk back home or getting it fixed or whatever. So this is a nice feature. Second feature I love about this is the new shock system. Shocks have been entirely revised, and it's got a double coil shock. So there's a comfort shock, a comfort spring up here, and an impact spring down there. The ride difference is enormous. It's not only the geometry that went from 60 to 64. The way the suspension works now, it's getting to a point. It's almost on par with the Can-Am Maverick XXC. Yep, a little bit too much preload. I'm working on settings right now, but it's fully adjustable, compression and rebound. So you get more for your buck. That I just love. Another addition this year is we got synthetic winch, synthetic winch cable. It's still 3500. This bumper here is an optional accessory, but for the winch, still got suicide doors. Aha! And I've had this unit for like 4 months, so it's been used and abused, but you get a nice wireless remote with it that my dog just loves. So you press both buttons, you got it here, so it's supposed to work. Oh, key's off, but got the key on. This actually should work, and we're live, so I hope it works. There we go. So instead of that wired remote we used to have before, now we got a wireless remote. And it comes at no extra cost. Actually, this should be a feature that's offered everywhere. All machines, like the XXC, Can-Am has it, but the RZR does not. You should have this. Going out to ride in trails, and especially if there's mud or snow, and you don't have a winch, you're asking for trouble. So this is a nice feature that's been added to it, to have the wireless remote. You still have the wired remote that plugs into the glove box here. So if you run out of batteries on the remote, you still have the wired remote. Now, this is an optional accessory. I happen to love those. I didn't like the previous generation windshields, but these are really nice. They're clip on, clip off. It takes about 30 seconds to install and remove. It's one of the best setups. Now, if you come out back, we have a 64-inch wide, much better suspension. Why did they need that? Because the HO that's written here goes for high output. So high output means high output engine. We went from a 79 horsepower engine to 90 HP and 60 foot-pound of torque. That puts it more in the category of the previous machines I mentioned. Not much competition in there. Others don't make a sport touring rig, but this is a sport tourer. There's no box in the back, you know, no dump box. This is a sport touring rig. That's what I like about it. This is an optional bumper here, but the rest is stock. And this is optional, and the back glass is optional. The roof comes with it. Sorry, my French kicks in. So now we're at 90 HP with a 64-inch suspension. You got to ride it, and I've been riding this thing hard. I got a few hundred clicks on it. I've been riding it hard, and it can take a beating. It can take a lot of extra. I beat the living crap out of it. That's the truth. I was looking for the polite words, but I beat the living crap out of it, and it's very good. This is new because of the extended wheelbase, and this also is an accessory that you can buy now at CFMOTO if you have the previous generation, and this makes a huge difference in the splashing that comes from the front wheel. Really love that. Another main feature that's been modified, there's a lot of criticism out there for the old seats that used to be racing type wrap-around seats. You know, that you were wrapped up really tight in. Look at the new seat. It's a cross between the old seat and the wraparound. I just happen to love this. And for people a little bit rounder edges out there, there's a big difference in comfort. So if you're big and tall or big and round, this is you're gonna be wanting these seats. It's a very big difference in general comfort while you're riding trails. Another thing is the steering wheel has been changed, and we've gone to a sport type steering with a flat bottom. Why the flat bottom? Well, just for be able to get out, because I don't like having I don't drive like this. I drive it like this, like most people. And if you had a round steering wheel, they could make the steering wheel smaller, but then there's be more effort into it. You still got great, you know, the power steering on these is great. It does a job, but the flat bottom is for you to come in and come out. You said don't touch it, and it's pretty low, so it's another comfort feature. Another thing that's been changed is the layout in the dash, in the instrument cluster. So turn it on. Nice little pop-up. They're all getting to do that. So this is normal mode. It's pretty, you know, no nonsense, nothing. But what I like is the sport mode. Check it out. So you got engine temperature, you got the fuel, you got your speed, the RPM, and you got the gear right in the middle here. That I like a lot. So, and another thing, you want to go up front, Carol? I can't remember what they call it. They gave it a name now, but check out the headlights on this thing. Parkings, they're already brighter than they used to be. Check out the lights. Low beam, high beam. These are some of the best headlights in the business. They were great last year. They're even better this year. So, do you really need a LED bar with a lot of light? Yeah, you probably need it, or you just want it. But if you don't have one, you're actually going to see where you're going. I like it a lot. So another feature that's cool, check this out. Everything's here now. You have the battery, you have the fuse box, you have brake fluid, coolant, and the direct radiator access. So all the basic stuff can be done right here. And it's simple to get to. No nonsense. Put her back in, just flip these, nice and locked. It's a tight machine. Is it for everyone? No. If you want a super sport, you know, you're buying this and you wanna follow your friends that have X3s and Pro XPs from Polaris, it'll do it, but it's not exactly the right rig. But as a sport touring, with the suspension and the tire height that it's got now, it's now at 12 and a half inches off the ground for ground clearance. Much better overall. And you know, these are slight modifications that were done to the basic design, and it answers most of my criticism I had for this unit. Oh, it'll top out at 122, by the way, kilometers per hour. So it's fast enough to be able to get you in trouble. So I like it a lot. So thanks a lot for being here. We're gonna have a full review with onboard cameras and our riding impressions out of it. I've been beating the living dud out of this thing for the last 3 months. We were in embargo, so embargo got cleared I think Thursday. I just wanted to show you quickly what do we got here, because there's another model which stays at 60 inches, which is called the HO Sport, that I have in that trailer in the back, and we'll come and show you that because it's got some really nice accessories that were added to it. So I'm Mark. Behind that camera is my cameraman Carl, and we're the ATV guys. So please like the page, or subscribe to our page, and you can reach us also on our YouTube channel, which is called the ATV Guys. Thanks a lot, and we're going riding.